Okay, and so I am going to talk to you guys today about um, an article put out by Atlanta Black Star called "What in the World? White Women Exposed for Allegedly Coaching Each Other on How to Lock Down Black Athletes After Leaked Texts Go Viral." And they've also made a video about that. They did a panel on the article that was put out. Now, I don't know who put it out first, but when I seen it first, it was released by Atlanta Black Star. So I want to give my input on why I believe that black male athletes are targeted. They're being targeted. Okay. So let's go over some of these rules that these girls or this girl has come out with. Let's go with rule number 1. If I can, I'm trying to find it here. I'm trying to locate it. Okay. So I guess these two white women, they're both sisters, and I guess they were talking in, I don't know if it's a chat room or what. But I guess Brittany Renner is a social media influencer. And I guess she shared the message with Jackson State University players. And so let me get to the let me read the article from Atlanta Black Star. Okay, so I'm reading the article by, I guess, written by Angelina Velasquez on the article called "What in the World? White Women Exposed for Allegedly Coaching Each Other on How to Lock Down Black Athletes After Leaked Text Go Viral." So the article starts out by saying, "Living a life of luxury is as simple as trapping a top NFL draft pick the moment he steps on campus. College-age women are skipping classroom lectures for tips on how to snag prosthetic football and NBA stars. And they just got exposed." Okay. An online debate surfaced after alleged messages exposed what's being described as a white college student's scheme to attract and keep wealthy black athletes. Screenshots from an alleged text thread involving a student identified as Halen M., her roommate Lexi, and Lexi's sister quickly went viral after being shared by the Bish Gossip. The jaw-dropping messages instantly set the internet on fire. Eagle-eyed viewers started playing detective, questioning whether the screenshots were real and if some of the responses sounded a little too calculated. But our readers are sounding off after reading the messages. Halen's friend allegedly wanted to lock in a tail. Oh, I'm sorry. Halen's friend allegedly wanted to lock in a tall chocolate football player just like her sister. Deion Sanders says he would be 15 million richer if he had the advice of Brittany Renner about women who plot on pro athletes. Thought she hit the jackpot. Russell Wilson's ex-wife can't escape draft day memes as fans say she fumbled a bag and the man. Okay, so I'm not going to read all this drama. I'm just going to get on to the rules, okay? So fulfilling that desire is easy, but you have to play your cards right, okay? So we're getting into the discussion that this white woman is having, I guess, with her younger sister that wants to land a black athlete, and her older sister, these are two white women, and her older sister is basically telling her the number one rule is the foundation to lure an athlete with a pick-me mindset. He's the prize. Remember, he can change your life. You can't change his. Okay, so she's basically telling her to have that pick-me mindset. Okay. Social media influencer Brittany Renner shared the same message with Jackson State University football players in 2021. Renner was invited by then head coach Deion Sanders to speak to the young men about the trap. She told them, naturally, if you play a sport, that's an incentive to talk to you. Everybody wants something, even if we have our own thing going on. It's like me being with you is good because you boost my stock. I boost your stock. It's that simple. One woman online replied, and when we tell black men this, you are just a game, and a come up to them, they don't want to hear none of that. Echoing one shared perspective in the comments. Another said, what in the world? The shameless tutorial is about securing wealth at all costs, and black women have taken notice. One wrote, this is not our business. If the men keep falling for it, that's on them. And that's why I never feel bad when things go south for them. So another one says, Lexi's big sister also noted, dealing with cheating. Don't look for it. If it's just a fling, let it go. She said, he's the prize. Remember, he can change your life. You can't change his. A phrase echoed once by Simone Biles' husband, NFL star Jonathan Owens. Okay, and so let's stop right there, and I'm going to give my input on this. So basically, these white women are, saying they're going to these college campuses for the solemn purpose of meeting NFL players, black NFL players, and they're making it a note to seek out black NFL players. Okay, these white women are making it a thing to seek out black NFL players. So my question is, why isn't it NFL players? Why does it have to be black NFL players? I get the fact that these white women want to land a rich guy, and so she's going to try to get in on him before anybody else does. And she's going to have the mindset that a pick-me type of mindset, which basically means she's willing to do any and everything to be with these men. And so why not go into it? Why not go into it thinking that way about any male athlete instead of just seeking out black men in particular? Why are these white women seeking out black male athletes instead of white male athletes? Don't they have more in common with white men? Wouldn't you think they would have more in common with white men, since white men come from their community? They're all white. And so don't you think they would have more in common with white men? Why not seek out white male athletes then? Why are they specifically targeting black male athletes? This is about trying to land a black male athlete. Not just an athlete, but a black athlete. And again, wouldn't you think these white women would have more in common with white men, since they are all part of the white community? So that's interesting right there. Okay, they're not seeking out white male athletes. They're not seeking out Latino male athletes, specifically black NFL and NBA players. Okay. Now, why do you think that is? How come they're not going for white NFL players? Because and then they have a whole book of rules that they follow, that they pass on from one white girl to the next. And they discuss this stuff in online chat rooms and on online forums. How to land a black NFL player. Why not just an NFL player? Once again, why specifically black? Okay. And I'm about to answer that for you, because it wasn't talked about in this article, and it also was not talked about on the online video that has the same heading. It's called "What in the World? White Women Exposed for Allegedly Coaching Each Other on How to Lock Down Black Athletes After Leaked Text Go Viral." Okay, so it's not about trying to land, an athlete just in general. It's all about black athletes. And the reason why they go for black male athletes is because black men are 100 times easier to get than a white male athlete. Okay? Because they're using their white skin privilege to get close to these men. Okay, she knows that her white skin alone, the fact that she's interested in him and she's very attractive, because most of these girls, they know they're very attractive, and they know that they can land any man, because white women are basically the symbol of beauty. So if you got a real pretty white woman, well, then she knows that she can, get on these college campuses and try to lure any of those guys up there. Okay? So what is she going to do if she goes for a white male athlete versus a black one? Well, for one, if she goes for the white male athletes, she's going to have to be competing with hundreds of other white women out there. And white men probably already are used to white women having the pick me mindset. They're probably used to that. So that's no big deal for white men. You got to bring something else to the table. Okay, if you have a pretty face and a nice body, or just a very slender body, which is what a lot of white guys like, very, very slender women with a real pretty face and big boobs really are their main thing that they go for. So if you got all that, then that's going to get you in the door. There's certain things that'll automatically subtract you because white men are at the top of the food chain and the money making chain. So they're going to require a lot more than a pretty face and a nice body. What else are you bringing to the table? I got 2,000 other girls out here that I could go for. So rather than going to college and getting an education and then trying to pursue these athletes, what these girls do is they go to college, look for an athlete, and then try to latch on to them so that she can get her foot in the door. And see, a lot of white guys are not going to fall for that. Because they know what you're doing. They know that you're trying to play that pick me game so that you can get your foot into the door. And so if they don't feel like being pushed aside by white men, what's the next best thing they're going to do? Go for a black man. Because a Latino man is going to already know what they're doing. He's going to be on to the game already. Because again, Latino men have beautiful women in their community. So you got to bring something else to the table besides a pretty face and a nice body, because they're all over the place in the Latino community, right? So a Latino male athlete is probably going to require that you have a pretty face, a nice body, and an education, because he wants you to come to the table with a little bit more than a pretty face and a nice body. Whereas if they just ditch the Latino man and the white man and go straight for the black man, she knows she's already got her foot in the door, because for one, she knows that she's going to be, if she has a pretty face and a nice body and she's in college, she can trick that black man into thinking she's up there to go to school, when really she's up there to see who she can, what kind of athlete, what kind of black, quote, black, unquote, athlete that she can land. Okay? It's not like black women don't have pretty faces and nice bodies, but are they up there at college? Well, yeah, some of them are. Well, are they chasing after black NFL players? Probably not. Why? Because those girls are going to school to get an education. They don't have time, the time or the money at those expensive colleges to be chasing after NFL players. These white girls, on the other hand, can easily use their white privilege to get close to these black male athletes. They have a pretty face, they got a nice body, and they use their trickery to fool these black men into thinking that they're up there to get a college education, when actually they're up there trying to see who they can land. And if they know that they're going to have to compete with 2,000 to 3,000 other white women and Latino women, then they can ditch half of that competition by just going for a black man, because they know that, black women can't afford to get into these nice colleges and not pass those classes. We can't afford that, because for one, you have to go through heaven and hell just to get into those colleges. Number two, you don't really have the time as a black woman to be trying to put these men first, these chasing after NFL players with this pick me mind frame, when you're trying to pass your college classes. Whereas these white females can use their white privilege to pursue these black NFL players, but even if they start failing these classes because they're so busy using a lot of their free time chasing after these black NFL players, because they're white, they can somehow remain in college until they pass those classes, okay? Whereas a black woman, if she messes up, she can get kicked out right away. You start getting D's and F's in your first semester or second semester of college, and you're out. Whereas white girls get a little bit more leeway to, maybe their parents got quite a bit of money. They can afford to fail some of them classes while they're chasing after these NFL players and doing all their homework, when really they should be concentrating on their homework. And so there's a whole lot more involved, with these white women seeking out these black NFL players, okay? Because they know that their white privilege is going to take them a lot farther than, what a black girl can get into college and try to date these athletes. It's not going to go as far because she's not going to have that kind of time to spend with him. I'm trying to find the second rule. Okay, so I think this is rule number 2. Lexi's big sister also noted, deal with cheating, okay? You got to deal with it. Don't look for it. It's just a fling, let it go. So basically allow these men to cheat on you, allow them to treat you like shit, beat your ass, probably verbally abuse you, allow them to put you at risk for HIV and a bunch of STDs, because you're going to be getting a paycheck as soon as you can land him. Stay with him for a couple of years so that it looks good on the record, and then divorce him as soon as you get the bag, okay? Hang in there until you get the bag. Let this bastard cheat on you. Let him infect you with all kinds of STDs, okay? Let him put you at risk for catching HIV. Just don't look for it. Don't, deal with it, because in the end, you're going to be getting paid. That's basically what she's telling her little sister and a bunch of other white women that are also taking notes. Let me scroll down. So I guess that was rule number 2. Number 3, completely integrate yourself in his life to where he can't function without you. So basically become his slave. Run to Subways whenever he needs something to eat, because this bitch probably can't cook. Iron his socks. Iron his clothes. Wash his clothes for him. Do his homework for him. Whatever he needs done. Open his mail. Massage his feet. Do his homework for him. Whatever errands he needs, take care of all that. If he needs to borrow money, you're the person that he goes to. You're his little money bank until he can, make it in the NFL. Then you're about to get paid. So completely integrate yourself in his life to where he can't function without you. Okay, so that's basically do whatever it takes to keep this guy's attention on you. Basically, you're becoming his sexual slave as well as his slave. Anything that he needs done, you are to do it without question. Okay, and you'll be able to land him before that black girl can get him. And let's go on to number 5, or rule number 4. Don't embarrass him. So don't embarrass him, don't cheat on him, don't text other men. So even though he's cheating on you and giving you all kinds of STDs, you do not do it to him. Don't embarrass him. Don't confront him in front of his friends. If you end up with some type of itch in your vagina, you just go along with it. You keep your mouth shut, because you're going to, once you get that bag, it's going to be it's going to be your payday. So in other words, you are dealing with whatever comes your way, even if it puts you in the position of catching HIV, whatever it takes, you are to deal with it. Don't confront him in front of his friends. Don't embarrass him, because them black girls will do that. If he winks at another girl in front of your face, deal with it. If he talks to other women in front of you, just pretend like you don't see it. Because he's going to marry you, and the reason why he's going to marry you is because you are willing to put up with any and everything to keep him. Okay? Number 5, go completely wild on him in bed. Okay? So that means anal sex. That means being ejaculated in the mouth. That means, being passed around to his friends, taking it in the mouth. Just whatever this guy wants, you do. Okay? And we all know as black women that that's not going to ride for us, even if we were in college and became the girlfriend of a black male athlete. We know that if we are dating a black male athlete, he's going to have different requirements for black women, whereas white women can do anything and everything, and he'll go for it. But how many black women is he going to marry? What are the chances of him marrying a black woman that's going to go wild on him in bed? What's the first thoughts that's going to go through his mind as a black male athlete when he's sleeping with a black a black female college student, and she's willing to go wild on him in bed? The first thing that's going to run through his mind is going to be, how many men have you done this with? But a white girl gets a free pass. Why? Because she's white. Okay. So we all know, we as black women, we know that that's going to fly for white women, but that won't fly for us, because we know full well that the first question he's going to be asking us, along with himself and his friends, is, how many other men have you done this with? If you're willing to do this with me, then this obviously means you've probably been passed around before. Okay? And what are the chances of him keeping us? Almost 0 to none. Okay? Because as soon as he finds out you're freakier than hell in bed, he's going to get rid of you as a black woman. Okay, so let's go to rule number 6. Do not tell his mom any personal information. That's interesting, because my thoughts would have been the first thing that would be on these white women's mind is to try to kiss up to his mom for everything. But do not tell his mother any personal information. That's very interesting. I would like for them to elaborate more on that. What type of personal information are we talking about? Because we know as black females that if a black man's mother sits down and talks to us, if we don't give her the type of information that she's looking for, if she even suspects that we're lying, that relationship with her son is probably over. We know that as black women, don't we? But once again, white females will get a free pass because they're white. Okay. So let's move on to number 7. Always look good and appealing. So this means always have that makeup plastered on, always have a manicure, always have your wardrobe, them clothes got to be tailor-made, always have that hair done, even if it's adding hair extensions. Go and get a boob job done. This is going to fly for white women, right? But for black women, what are black men always telling us? Don't put no artificial hair on your head, but he lets white women do it, right? Because once again, she's white. She gets a free pass to wear hair extensions. She gets a free pass to have a boob job done. But you, black woman, you go get some weave added to your hair and see if you're not given the first, second, and third degree about how you shouldn't be wearing artificial hair from another woman on your head. But anybody else can do it, though. Anybody else can plaster on all of that makeup. Anybody else can have all that artificial hair added into their head, just as long as it's not you, black woman. You can't go and get a fake butt put on. You can't go and get them BBLs, black woman, because they've put out rumors that to get those things, it stinks. It's giving off some type of odor now. But Kim Kardashian had one and there were no complaints. But then again, she's white. Okay, but you, black woman, there's going to be rumors passed around about how your BBL had a bad odor to it, how it looks like it's moving around, it doesn't look natural. You can't, if you're not 100% natural, chances are he's probably not going to marry you, black woman. You have to be born looking very, very nice, because if not, these black men don't want nothing fake. You have to be 100% pure natural. No wigs, no... you're lucky if they'll even allow you to have your nails done. And if you do get them done, they can't be artificial. These black men want you to be 100% pure natural. But that white girl, she can get a BBL, a fake boob job, cheek implants, fat added to her lips, a fake suntan. She could get all that stuff done, and she gets a pass because she's white. Okay. So is that it? Just 7 rules? That's as far as we know. Okay, and so I think I went through all of the rules, I remember reading a book when I was a teenager that a white woman put out. It was called The Secrets or something like that. And these were secrets, again, about being able to get a man and keep a man. I can't even remember now who wrote the book or what, but I read the whole book in its entirety, and it kind of sounds kind of similar to this. Okay, but the thing about it is that after I had bought that book and read the whole book completely through, a lot of that stuff I instinctively already knew. So this white girl that wrote the book that I read as a teenager was not telling me nothing my instincts hadn't already kicked in and told me. Okay, a lot of this stuff we already instinctively know. Okay, we already know to try to impress a man so much that he's going to miss you if you're gone. We already know all the secrets about the perfumes. I'm not going to go through everything with you guys because I'm not about to tell you a lot of my secrets, but we instinctively know a lot of this shit about a lot of these rules that she has on here. Black women know all this shit. This is stuff that your instincts as a woman in general will tell you. What woman doesn't try to be a freak in the bedroom? What woman hasn't done that? What woman isn't always going to look good in the pilling? What woman isn't going to try to cook and clean and iron and be a slave for a man that she really likes? If a woman really likes a man, and he's really handsome to her, this stuff is very instinctively already in the back of most women's minds. This stuff that this white girl said, this is not new stuff. Any kind of woman with common sense is going to do a lot of this stuff. But see, the thing about it is that when a black woman does a lot of this stuff for a black man, he takes advantage of it because he knows that tons of other black women are also going to be doing the same thing, and women in general are going to be doing the same thing. So if he can get a white woman over a black woman, naturally he's going to pick her because she is seen as more of a trophy to him than a black woman is. And see, the thing about it is in the video where some of these black women have sat down and they're talking in a panel about this topic, what in the world? White women exposed for allegedly coaching each other on how to lock down black athletes. Okay. So, excuse me. A lot of things that, black women do is not going to blow over for a black man. If he's going to pick between a black woman and a white woman, that black woman can't be no freak in bed. And I just told you why. Because he's going to be asking her, how many other men have you done this with? Okay. How many black women have done all these rules that this white woman supposedly wrote down and told her little sister, along with other white women also seeking out black athletes? How many black women have done that for their boyfriends? And the moment he makes it to the NFL, he dumps her and goes and marries a white girl he's never had a thing to do with. How many times has that happened? A lot. Okay, a lot. Because what these black women on this panel didn't discuss is the fact that there's a lot of black women that have done all this shit. They still cannot keep that black man if a white woman is willing to do all those same rules. Why? Because in the back of a black man's mind, a white woman is better than a black woman. Okay? All black men in the United States and Africa think like this. All black men worldwide think like this. So if they can have a white woman over a woman from their own community, naturally they're going to pick that white woman. Even if that black woman is following every single rule in the book, in the instinctive book, the instincts that she was born with, stuff that she instinctively knows that have been passed down from the generation to generation within the DNA. She instinctively knows all this stuff. He's still going to pick that white girl because in the back of his mind, white is better. So, and these black women are sitting up on this panel talking about, oh, well, a lot of these rules are true, and we black women, we've been raised different. A lot of us come from single parent homes, and a lot of us just we're not pick-me's, and we're not willing to do all this stuff. Oh, the hell, black women are not doing a lot of the rules, a lot of those rules instinctively. They're doing that and then some, and still cannot beat these white girls out, because her whiteness, is the next best thing to God in these black men's minds, because they have been brainwashed into thinking that white is the way to go. When you are raised in a place like the United States and anywhere else in the world, you're raised to believe that white is the way to go. All men of color think that white women are this, that, and the other. It's it's some type of extraterrestrial power that they have. Okay? That's what I think. When you're not from this planet, naturally, you're going to outshine the locals. Okay, and that's just, hypothetically speaking. Okay, it's just a joke, but really. But yeah, naturally they're going to outshine you, because it's a systemic racism. When you're born and raised into a country where white women are worshipped and praised as though they were gods on a subliminal level, well then yeah, nothing the black woman can do is going to change that. The black man is always going to see, as long as we're here, this is one of the reasons why we need to relocate, so that she can't have that kind of power. As long as we're here, the black man is going to see her and worship her as though she were the mother of Jesus. Yeah. Also depicted as a white woman. But yeah, that's what these black men see. Okay, all the the magic and the subliminal messages that are put into their heads from the time they come out their mother's womb. They are plastered with being brainwashed into worshiping her. Okay, so there's really nothing that black women can do besides go back to Africa and get out of this mess. There's nothing else she can do unless she removes herself from out of this society. Because as long as we're over here, and as long as black men are surrounded by white and Latino and Asian women, black women are not really going to have much of a chance unless she gets out of here. If she goes back to Africa and she's surrounded by her own people, where if she's in a land where her people are worshipped, and all the stars are black, and all the nurses and the doctors and lawyers and just everything around you is black. That's the only way that you're going to be able to maintain what comes from your womb, is when you are in your own society. Okay, and that's the truth. Black American women need to leave the United States. That's really the only way that you're going to be able to marry what comes from your womb, because you're in another man's nest. You're in another man's society, and she's placed up at the top. And anybody that's born in this society is going to have that type of mind control. He's going to be under a mind control that he can't control. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Thanks so much for listening. Please like the video if you can relate to this, and go ahead and subscribe. Thank you.